doing some maintenance on our Canyon Endurance, and it turns out it has a bottom bracket that I don't have a tool for, which is awesome. Apparently this is a mixture between a press fit and a threaded one. So I think this is threaded, and you can do maintenance on the bearings here, but I'm just trying to see if it's part of the crank issue. So I cleaned out the crank and I'm about to grease this back up with some muck off and put this back on and see if that resolves the issue. I'm doing this one step at a time because I've had this issue in the past, and I've actually tried to replace the bottom bracket before. Now, there isn't any like Creaking one, or I think some people swear by like the expensive bottom brackets, but just being able to take this off every couple of years and changing it out so that it doesn't creak me to death would be probably good to know and do. Previously, I've actually stripped out the bolts here, so I want to make sure that this time it was pretty easy. So just making sure that I have the right size as well as the right ones that don't break. So this one's are these for Shimano, or is a 5mm? So some of these are kind of weaker than other ones. So this one's apparently pretty strong. So let's keep going. Change off the crank side, which will be a little bit more of a mess because cleaning that off is going to be fun. So we have sprayed this with brake cleaner, and we have wiped it down with a cloth, and you can hear the sound of this after I cleaned it up a bit, but it doesn't sound super great, but here's what it sounds like. So not super great, and this is what the other one sounds like. So after cleaning this out, we want to put some more grease in there. So we're gonna pile this up with some of the muck off bio grease. And I've been told that more is better in this case. So we're just gonna pile that in there and then put everything back together. Not too bad, but must have been some water egress. I guess there's no real good way of doing this other than just replacing these. I think you can just also press these bearings out and replace these bearings. So that's another option if we're not cleaning it. And I just wanted to try this out, see what this was like. If we still have issues with the noises, the creaking that my bike's making, then we'll try and replace the bearings and see what that sounds like afterwards. Let's try to put some of this grease back in here. Got that. We're just gonna pile this in here. Alright, that's pretty piled in there, if I do say so myself. Just spin this around a little bit. That's a lot. Okay, I think that's plenty. Just mushed it around a bit. The seals that I took off before, let's bring those back over here. We're supposed to know which way we put them on. So this is what they look like. It's pretty clear which one is which. So it's pretty clear that this is supposed to go on there, but I need to clean this up, probably tidy this up a little bit better. There's just grease everywhere. So you probably want to put some grease on here. So any access that I have here, I'm just going to throw in over here
Don't really want stuff on the outside here because it's going to just attract more dirt. But that isn't the cleanest, but I'm not looking for perfect here. I'm just curious if this is gonna fix it. You need to make sure that these are not bent either. So that's something to be very careful of when you're trying to break this off here or remove the seal. I want to make sure that seal is planted back on properly. Just heard it kind of click in there, so that kind of gives me the idea that it is back on. Just pressing it all the way around just to make sure. It's still kind of crunchy though, so we'll see. We'll see if this makes a difference or not. I'm gonna clean the rest of this off. There's another seal that goes on top of this, so not a huge deal. This will go on the bike the opposite way here. So when putting this on my Endurance, this is the driver's side on the side that I'm putting it in. This is kind of a press fit. So this one actually goes in first, and then once that's in, you kind of press this down a little bit, and then this one screws in here. You can see the threads here. So let's go ahead and grease this one up first, and then we'll press this one in and then fit the rest of it. Again, it's not like a full, it's kind of like a press-in threaded. Very interesting. I've never actually worked with one that's like this. And obviously once it gets tighter, this is plastic, it'll come out this way, but once you tighten it up, it should be all good in the neighborhood. All right, so everything is put back on. I guess the moment of truth is riding it outside and seeing how it does. Really quick test. I just cleaned the bottom bracket and all the bearings and whatnot, re-greased it. Want to see if this will actually do anything to make the dreaded bottom bracket noise go away. If not, we might have to replace the bearings, which will basically allow me to do the exact same thing that I just did, with the addition of knocking out the bearings, which really didn't seem too difficult to do. But let's get started and let's see how it does. Nothing yet. Just drivetrain noise. Well, that's good. So far, so good. No bottom bracket noise. So that may solve our issue for the time being. We will see. Yeah, that seems to got it. Nice. It was a pain in the butt to do, but I feel like it was a good thing to learn. But there you have it. That's how you can rid yourself of the bottom bracket bit and not actually change out the bearings. You just clean them out.